Good adjustment by O'Neal after the Ostertag defense, but just a little bit too hard.
LA had just one field goal in the last 5 minutes, 20 seconds, and only 5 baskets in the entire third quarter. They're lucky to trail by just 10, Steve.
Chris Morris for 3. And like a predator, like a shark smelling the blood in the water, the Jazz are trying to put the knockout punch on the Lakers.
The Jazz have got phenomenal play out of Chris Morris, out of Shandon Anderson, out of Brian Russell. The 3-man, the small forward plays well for Utah. They are tough to stop.
Jones can't answer, but Shaq off the offensive board jams it home.
Again, with as much time left in the ball game, and it's just under 11 minutes to play, where the Lakers have to pick it up is in a belief that they can change something out on the floor. And it's been collisions that have gone in favor of the Utah Jazz. You see after every foul call, the Lakers' heads drop. That's not good body language. Malone out, Antoine Carr in.
You talked about Blunt committing the foul.
Tom, you talked about the 0-3 situation. Only 2 times in NBA history has a team that's been down 3-0 been able to battle back and make it all the way to 7 games.
And of course, as everyone knows, no team has ever won after trailing.
But it happened in '94 with this Utah Jazz team, and they let Denver come all the way back and force a 7th game, and then way back in the infancy of the league in 1951 between New York and Rochester in the NBA Finals.
Eddie Jones to the rim for the Jazz. Do the Lakers have one final push?
One of the great things about this Utah Jazz team, Tom, is the way they've learned to respond to the huge performances of the other team.
Ostertag with a follow, the Morris miss.
Shaq in transition.
23 for Shaq, the game's top scorer.
Finally, the Laker offense has come alive. They certainly have waited long enough.
They slumbered through 3 quarters and 3.5 games for that matter.
Great screen by Ostertag.
And Morris with a reverse from Ostertag.
Every time, and it's been that way in Game 3 today. Every time they make a little run, there's a Morris, there's an Ostertag to answer the call, and the Utah Jazz, they continue to lead.
On NBC is brought to you by...
Knows the pain of being swept out of the playoffs. 1995 NBA Finals while still playing for the Orlando Magic. Shaq and his teammates lost 4 straight at the hands of the Houston Rockets and his current teammate Robert Horry. Shaq swept in the finals and in danger of being swept here today in the Western Conference Finals.
Tom, I was talking to Shaq in the locker room about that today, and he was saying that Michael Jordan a couple years ago after the Bulls swept the Magic said, Shaq, you're going to have to experience a lot of failure, a lot of frustration along the way before you finally get that ultimate prize. Unless the Lakers turn it around real quickly, it's going to be a very long and unpleasant summer for Shaquille O'Neal.
Lakers have 9 minutes, 28 seconds to make up an 11-point deficit. Let's go to Jim Gray.
Well, you think Jerry Sloan might be pretty happy at this point. He laced into him pretty good. He said, hey, guys, the idea isn't to stop Shaquille O'Neal as we look at Nick Van Exel hit a 3. Not to stop Shaquille O'Neal, but the object is to try and slow him down. You're just giving him too many easy points in the paint. Slow him down. He's also unhappy with the transition defense. Tom?
All right, Jim, Van Exel with that key 3. You see the leading scorers. And a steal. It's Van Exel. Gives it up to Eddie Jones. Nice play. Nick Van Exel hits the 3 and then assists to Jones for the Jazz.
And the Lakers, after having been outplayed in every aspect of the game throughout the entire series, finally on the brink, ready to fall off the cliff, they finally come alive.
Van Exel makes it happen, hits the 3, then the steal and the assist, and suddenly the Lakers within a half dozen. Finals, Michael and the Bulls against Reggie and the Pacers. The Bulls jumped out to that quick 2-0 series lead, but yesterday the Pacers and Reggie came up big. Will Michael and the Bulls bounce back, or will the Pacers even the series? The NBA on NBC, Chicago, Indiana tomorrow starts at 3 o'clock Eastern Time with NBA Showtime. There's the schedule. On Wednesday, they'll move back to Chicago Friday and Sunday if necessary.
Now, Jerry Sloan is going for the closer. Karl Malone has come back in the ball game, as well as Isley has played. John Stockton is back in the ball game. Chandon Anderson, Antoine Carr, and Chris Morris. So the Lakers put on a little bit of a run, and Jerry Sloan said, I'm going to put the big guys in and see if we can't kill them.
It's an 11-4 run since Chris Morris hit that three-pointer to give the Jazz a 13-point lead.
What the Lakers can't do is put the Utah Jazz in a situation where they're going to score some cheap points with the lead. They're going to call Van Exel for the hand check outside.
Malone against Blunt. Stockton penetrates, floats one up, no good. Tapped in by, I think, Chris Morris. Or was it Isley?
Stockton just got a good bounce.
All right.
Tom, what the Utah Jazz have improved more than anything else from last year's loss to the Chicago Bulls was how they respond to the big push by the greatness of the other team. Last year, when Jordan was putting on his show, they just didn't know how to react. This year, the other team with Shaq coming up big, the Jazz keep playing their game.
Shaq line drive off the glass. He has 25. He's the game's leading scorer. And once again, the lead is 6.
Coming to Shannon Anderson, who really posts well against Eddie Jones and Kobe Bryant. They're trying to find him deep. They go to Karl Malone. They get a foul.
Corey Blunt commits the foul.
What a terrific pass by Shandon Anderson. They just know how Karl is going to position himself. Shannon Anderson now playing instead of Jeff Hornacek.
But, you know, this crowd, it waited in Game 3. The Lakers got them close to 1-2 points, but never got over the top. They're urging them on right now, and they've never been able to get closer than 6. Malone gets the first free throw.
He has 23 points, 13 rebounds, and 5 assists.
And the Utah Jazz, the best shooting team at the free throw line in the NBA playoffs. On the road, need to virtually make all of these down the stretch to hold off this charging Laker team.
Malone has hit 10 of 11 at the free throw line. 8-point lead.
He and Shaquille O'Neal lead in attempts, and they're both double-digit guys. Malone has gotten his number. He's 10-5, and O'Neal is better than that as they go inside to Shaquille.
91% free throw shooting will win you a lot of games. Eddie Jones.
Great defense by Karl Malone, and an even better finish by Eddie.
Eddie Jones with the acrobatic shot again cuts the lead to 6. Lakers determined to make a final run at the Utah Jazz. And the X factor, Eddie Jones, trying to pull the Lakers back with help from Shaq, who's 3 for 3 in the quarter. Shaq pokes it away from Anderson. Scramble. Lakers have it. Van Exel with a seam.